Mathematics of finance.
Oh, is it stuff that we get to use in real life?
Yeah, it's not good trying to talk.
This is one section.
Oh.
Not a whole year. Alright, so one little thing, it may have been in your notes, but these problems deal with money, hence finance. So, always have 2 decimal places. Now, if it comes out to an even dollar amount, you don't have to have like 0.00, but most of them are not going to come out to a nice even dollar amount. So don't be like, oh, I have $325.5.
That's 50 cents.
Yeah, you need to put the 0 on it because it's anytime we're dealing with decimal points with money, we want 2 decimal places. And the dollar sign goes in front, not after. I will take off for that.
Wait, actually?
Yes.
Wait.
That's how you write.
The dollar sign goes in front.
Do you like
That is how American money works. What?
Do you like 2 lines or 1 line in that S?
I don't care. I do one, but
Like
that's just
6.
because I don't have room for 2.
I'm just doing square.
All right.
Square.
Find the amount A accumulated after investing a principal P for T years at an interest rate R compounded annually. So, P equals $3,200. R is 8%, and T is 4.
You said $3,000, and then the dollar is in front of the 3,000.
I say we take it over the.
Because you don't read it the same way that it's
Well, I
the
know,
symbols.
but I'm like, and then it's like, I don't know.
What it does sound.
All right, so R is going to be given to you as a percentage, just like it was in whatever section, 3.1, 3.2, whatever that was. But we need it as a decimal, so R is going to be 0.08.
I don't want to run today.
Why not?
I'm gonna have to run so much because it's you school.
Your formula is A equals P times 1 plus R raised to the T. All those formulas that are in your notes, you will need to memorize them.
Well, Showalter.
I like it.
All right, so A equals 3,200 times 1 plus 0.08. If you want to just go ahead and write that as 1.08, you can. And then raised to the 4th. Then at that point, we just throw that in a calculator and solve it.
I got $4,353.56. Dollar sign.
So $4,353.56.
What is this problem asking us?
Let's put it before we look at
Let's find the amount A accumulated after investing the principal P for T years at an interest rate R compounded annually. So this is saying if I put in $3,200 and it has an interest rate of 8% compounded annually for 4 years, after 4 years, this is how much money you'd see in your bank account.
Compounded?
That means that's how many times it's like doubled or whatever.
So
the
year
interest
one-
rate, it's happening once per year because it's compounded annually. That's why we use this formula.
So 1 year is 8%, 2 years is 16%.
No, it's 8% each year.
why not
So it's
just do-
8% of your initial amount, then the next year it's 8% of that amount, then it's 8% of that amount.
Ah.
For P equals $15,500, R is 9.5%, T is 12. So we make R a decimal, 0.095, And then we plug it into the formula. I'm not going to rewrite the formula. I'm pretty much just going to write it the first time we use it, and then I'm not going to write it again because you have them in your notes. So A equals 15,500 times 1 plus this. So I'm just going to write 1.095 raised to the t, which is 12.
$46,057.58. Why you say that?
$46,057.58.
Yeah.
All right, so that's compounded annually. So that's the most basic problem. The next ones are find the amount A accumulated after investing a principal P for T years at an interest rate R compounded K times per year. So 6.
I'm just saying stuff at this point.
K, or not K equals, P equals $3,500. R is 5%, T is 10, and K is 4.
TK.
So it's compounded K times per year. So the difference is this one isn't compounded annually. Okay, this one would be what you would call compounded quarterly. So a lot of banks are quarterly, so it's like every 3 months they compound your money and give you your interest on that. Some of them are monthly. I have a couple that are monthly and then some that are like quarterly. Just depends on your interest rate for what you like or what you want. But anyways. All right, so this formula, again, we're going to need R in a decimal, so I'm going to go ahead and write that as 0.05. This formula is A equals P times 1 plus, it's not 1 plus R now, it's 1 plus R over K raised to the K times T.
Why is it R over K?
Because that's what the formula is.
Well,
That's the
is
rate
the
for-
5% every year?
No. It's at a rate of R compounded K times per year.
Okay.
This is the formula for this.
Yeah. I just don't understand why it's okay.
I don't know. I didn't invent the formula.
No, like it's okay. I'm just.
It is okay.
Because instead of a year, it's a part of the year, right?
It's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 divided by 12 would be, 1/3, so that makes sense. Instead of, like, paying it raised to 1, you're dividing it. Because it's not a year, it's like a quarter of a year, whatever.
I got 5,752.67.
$5,752.67. Eight. P equals $25,300. R equals 4.5%. T equals 25 and K equals 12.
That's what I said.
All right, so R, move the decimal place. So this is 0.045. So then using our formula, A equals 25,300 times 1 plus 0.045 divided by 12. So this means this particular one was compounded monthly because it's compounded K 12 times per year. And then raised to the 12 times 25.
at 77,765.69.
It's everybody else that's typing them in getting the same thing. Okay. I'm just making sure. I mean, he's right. If you don't type it in correctly, you're going to get the wrong answer. That's why I'm asking.
From what? Because you're not good at math. Get a D. What?
Find the amount A accumulated after investing a principal P for T years at an interest rate R compounded continuously. So P equals $3,350. R equals 6.2%. T equals 8. Formula for this one is A equals P E raised to the RT. Again, R is going to be a decimal. Yep, that's a good way to remember it.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Find the amount A accumulated after investing a principal P for T years at an interest rate R compounded continuously. So R is 0.062. So A equals 3,350 E to the 0.062 times 8.
If I put E raised to the nothing, is that okay? Because my E only has something to the raised.
Well, it is E raised to the something.
Second divide.
Oh.
Remember the division sign usually.
Not mine.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah, mine
does.
that. Anyways, the answer is 5,501.17.
What's the value?
2.17.
2.71.
2.71.
Why do you leave a letter?
2.72.
It's an Euler's number.
It's
It's
a
an
what?
irrational number like
Euler?
pi. Euler, the guy that
Like oil?
like EULER.
Oh. I thought that was
The guy that found it.
I can find the numbers.
Like, how'd they find pi? I mean, same deal.
I don't know. Can I find another irrational number and
No.
name it after myself?
You could.
Survived by Charlotte.
Yeah, you got
All right.
it. Stop.
Future value problems. Find the future value accumulated in an annuity. These ones are the hardest ones to type in your calculator.
Oh no.
No, these are good.
Typically, when people miss these, it's because they didn't type it in their calculator correctly, not because they didn't set it up correctly.
I've been typing it in like the whole time.
These are much more complicated. Okay, find the future value accumulated in an annuity after investing periodic payments R for T years at an annual interest rate R with payments made and interest credited K times per year.
What is annuity?
It's like a financial account, essentially.
Like a bank account?
It's a song.
Or it could be the future value of a loan if you continuously pay whatever on it and pay your monthly payments and all of that. Can also be that. We'll do word problems that are real life applications for you in a little bit.
I don't like your money.
All right. R equals $300.
What?
Little r is 6%. T is 12. K is 4.
So R equals 0.06.
Good job, Shepard.
Thanks. Excellent.
All right. The formula for future value. Future value is equal to big R times, it gets multiplied by the whole thing. So when you put it in your calculator, you're going to have to essentially do it like this. 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I.
Like the imaginary
No.
Oh.
I equals R over K.
What?
N equals T times K.
I don't think they should let you use I for other things if I is also a number. Like, it's confusing.
It's not.
Okay, I can type this in my
is a
calc,
number,
guys.
though.
It's imaginary.
Okay, so couple different ways we can do this, and your answer is going to be slightly different depending on which way you choose. I can either find I and find N. Now, N's obviously typically whole numbers, so it's, whatever. But if you find I first and then you have a decimal point and you round, is everybody listening to me? Because people aren't looking up here.
It's not
Okay,
looking
and
English.
you round and you use that number in here, you're going to get a different answer than if you plug in R over K into this formula and do it that way.
So what's the right
Which way would you prefer?
I don't really care, ultimately. I typically do it as if I'm plugging these fractions in, so that essentially I end up with future value is R times 1 plus R over K raised to the, you can still do N, but TK, and then minus 1 over R over K. I typically do it that way, but I'm just telling you, depending on which way you choose to do it, you might get a slightly different answer. Okay? I think it's easier this way if you know how to type it in your calculator correctly. If you
And it
don't,
looks
then you're
more
going to
like
have a
the other
problem.
formula, so-
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you memorize this formula, then you also need to memorize what I and N are with that. So, up to you how you want to do it. So, future value for this particular problem is 300 times 1 plus 0.06 over 4 raised to the, I'm going to go ahead and write that's 48 because 4 times 12 is 48, minus 1 all over 0.06 over 4.
I got 20,869.57.
Good. I want everyone to attempt to do that one on your calculator.
As my answer was going to be in brackets afterwards.
Huh?
My answer's in brackets. Is that okay?
Your answer is in brackets?
Yeah, my answers was bracketed.
Is it being
Probably
multiplied
typed
by
it in
something?
with a bracket instead of a parenthesis.
No, I'm supposed to use brackets. I didn't even differentiate the parentheses.
Would the
Julia, do you wanna try with
calculator
mine?
Little parentheses and big parentheses. It's just
like
Nah.
we're getting it. So I may not have to actually do it myself.
It looks like a matrix. Actually, I don't know what a matrix is. Don't see.
Because you use matrix, or you use the curly bars. You didn't use bracket, you used curly bars. Just use parentheses.
Oh.
It'll know.
Okay.
It can differentiate the big parentheses versus the little ones.
Can I use curly brackets?
You
if I
use
want?
set notation, that's why it's in a set at the end.
Okay. This is really fun. I like this section.
As long as you type it in correctly, it's easy. So I would use, like, within the stuff, I would be using my alpha y equals to get the fraction bars and stuff.
How many fractions can you put in a fraction?
A lot.
Look, I made a Christmas tree with my fractions. I'm gonna make another one. Why does it do that?
All right, did everybody get this
Nope.
or something similar?
Oh. Alright.
So do like 300 and then do a parentheses and then do alpha y equals to get a fraction bar.
Okay.
And then do on the top a parentheses with 1 plus the fraction bar for what that is. Close the parentheses, raise it to 48. Then minus 1. Then on the bottom, do a fraction within your fraction. And then close the whole parentheses off.
Well, I can make roads.
What is wrong with you?
Look, it's like a highway. See?
All right, is it working?
Mm-hmm.
Are we good to move to the next one? Do another one?
50 cents.
What did I do wrong?
You're using brackets instead of the parentheses.
I use brackets.
But she
Your
said-
calculator doesn't have brackets. You just have to use parentheses.
Frick.
Shepard used the curly bracket things, which
My calculator actually does have brackets. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
mine has,
multiply and
I guess I'm not
subtract.
supposed to use them.
But I didn't use those. I used the parentheses.
This is gonna break my
There's a
calculator.
difference between the big parentheses.
There we go. Now click enter. and you
It's
should
the
go.
second
Oh,
multiplier. so
mine
it's
also
the
doesn't
second
have a
one.
Alright, I got it now.
you can use those ones.
Wait, I just did I just used it and it said
Can you
syntax error.
stop, please?
You used the what?
The ones that she just said. Like I
Oh,
just like
mine
tried
did
6
say
times
that.
5.
Okay, I don't know what that does then.
I
Yeah,
don't
maybe it's some weird notation.
I just used parentheses. I just
Yeah.
did brackets just to make it
Oh,
easier
you
on
used
paper to
abso-
see.
No, is it absolute value? No.
No.
Absolute value is
It would be 2
somewhere
lines.
else.
I don't
I
know.
think
what
you have to
that
go to
is.
math for absolute value.
All right, we'll do another one of these ones. 16. Big R is $610. Little r is 6.5%.
Yeah, I better cookie this.
T is 25. K is 12.
Why does it change from P to R?
I don't know. They're just totally different kinds of problems. Future value and present value
Okay.
have their own thing.
I is already
I don't really know.
So,
R is like your payment, so that's probably why. Whereas P is like your principal value.
I gotcha.
I guess they're using it so that you have different letters to distinguish, unlike the I situation, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so 610 times on the top of your fraction 1 plus 0.065 over 12 raised to the 12 times 25 minus 1 over 0.065 over 12
I got 456,790.28. Oh my gosh.
Did everyone else get that? Okay.
Look how it puts it in black and white.
Shepard, do you write this on your paper before you put it in the calculator?
What do you?
Okay, cause like I haven't even finished writing this yet, and
Go with
he's
the
already
last
spit
one.
out an answer. What?
Okay, wait. I'm gonna make a graph.
Building an entire update with we're all still struggling.
Oh, I'm gonna see if I can make a house.
He has a whole Minecraft world in there.
It's gonna be like last year. He put like a fire hydrant or a water fountain or something on Virginia's calculator, and then she couldn't ever use her calculator again.
Oh, yeah.
Oops. Wait, I got
Her
the
brand new
right one.
calculator that she never got to use.
How do I put lines that go diagonal?
What happened?
On a graph?
I feel like a division sign. Oh, I just pressed a division
No,
sign.
I literally put it incorrectly and it
Raise
gives
the
me
division.
8.4.
Are you in radians or degrees?
That
It's on
Ooh.
would not matter at all.
Oh, I did not get that answer.
Yeah, I got.
I got $8.
Oh, because I put 12.25
That is the
instead of
answer,
12
Ron.
times 25
have that.
456.79.
times.
You got.
Oh, it's point. Okay, I know where it
Wait.
is.
You got the 0.28
Point
On
six.
the
Yeah.
decimal so often.
because you didn't put 0.065. You probably put 0.65.
Oh, I got
Oh,
the
I
right.
did.
I got the right thing.
Frick.
Hold on.
I don't have that.
Are you just missing a decimal place? Do you know how to do it without having to restart everything? Without having to retype in the whole thing?
No.
You multiply by 10 or something.
No.
Scientific notation.
So if you go where you typed it in, hit second and then enter, and it brings up your whole thing, and then you can go type over top of wherever it is.
Wait, you don't
And
have.
then second insert will let you put in the 0.
Mine, you just gotta go up and click it.
Yes. Oh, I got it right now.
That, or you can hit second and then enter, and it'll bring entry, and it'll bring back up whatever you just put in. But that does work too, Zach. So you got the right answer now?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody good on putting that one in your calculator before we go to the next complicated one?
Complicated.
Yes.
Present value is just as complicated, if not harder, to plug in. Okay. 18. So we're on to present value now. That was future value. Find the present value of a loan with an annual interest rate R and a periodic payment R for a term of T years, with payments made and interest charged 12 times per year. So little r is 6.5%. Big R is $1,856.82. T is 30. Now, they did not tell me anything else, but from the information they gave me, interest charged 12 times per year, that tells me that K is equal to 12.
You just knew that.
12 times per year.
And she's a math teacher.
Which means they could have also told me, or in a word problem, they would probably say compounded monthly. There's 12 months in a year, so that's where that comes from. All right, the formula for present value is R times, on the top, 1 minus, in parentheses, 1 plus I, or we can write it as R over K again. It's the same value. Raised to the negative N, so negative, I'm going to rewrite it as K times T, all over R over K. So you can either memorize it this way, or you can memorize I and N and then know what I and N are equal to. All right, so R is 0.065. So then I'm plugging everything in. Present value is equal to $1,856.82 times 1 minus 1 plus 0.065 over 12 raised to the negative 12 times 30, all over 0.065 over 12.
I definitely see myself mixing up these two formulas.
Did you miss for something, Jenny?
The hardest ones and the ones that you need to make sure you're working on are future value and present value. And as much as you probably don't want to, I would encourage that with us not quizzing and testing till next week, that over break, don't sit and do problems, but at least look over your formulas once or twice a day.
It's just the formula, but the negative one is on the left. And it's a negative.
Well, it's 1 minus.
I got 293,769.01.
I don't.
Shepard's clearly got plugging them in. Now the question will be, can you write the formula and then plug it in?
Yes.
Okay.
He's not smart as me.
Hey. Watch yourself, pal.
Sorry.
Now, the important thing on the quiz and the test is that you do write down the formula so that I can see if the problem is just you don't know how to type it in your calculator, or if you just flat out don't know the formula. So that'll be a big part of the question. Because obviously, if you can write the whole formula out correctly and you get the wrong answer, I'm going to know that there's a level of it that is, okay, you just typed it in wrong. So I won't take off as many points as if you just wing it. And usually I have a question on there where it's like, write all the formulas and I check them for you. So But it'll be like worth points, so it will hurt you if you don't know the formula. But at least it doesn't get all the problems wrong and all of that wrong as well. All right, are we okay on this one?
29, 37, 69.
I was like, what?
Can you make me?
Hey,
What?
hi.
Can you make me?
You would not fit on the graph.
I live in the house.
Oh, yep, we need to do one of these ones. All right. Another present value problem. Slightly different now in what they're giving us. They're going to give us the present value, and we are going to be finding big R.
TK.
Okay? So, find the periodic payment R of a loan with present value PV and an annual interest rate R for a term of T years with payments made and interest charged 12 times per year. So, PV is $154,000. Little r is 7.2%. T is 15. They didn't give me K, but in the instructions it says 12 times per year, so K equals 12. So this one is different because we're going to have to solve our formula, okay, for R.
So we can't put this in the calc.
You can.
Just set it
Solving for big
we just
R.
gotta move this stuff around.
Equals
So-
big R.
PV equals big R times 1 minus 1 plus R over K raised to the negative KT over R over K. So if I want to get R by itself,
Divide both sides by R and then multiply by PV.
or I can just flip this fraction and multiply it by PV. Keep, change, flip. Divide by a fraction, multiply by the reciprocal.
Did the way I said at first, does that work too?
What did you say to do?
Can I divide both sides by R and then multiply both sides by P over by PV?
But then you're going to have 1 over R over here, so then you're still going to have to flip it.
1 over R. So that's okay, because then when I solve it, I just.
Then you have to flip the whole thing.
we just
So my way's faster.
by everything.
I just don't know how to keep change flip.
We're just flipping this over and multiplying it over here.
So it would be R divided by K divided by blah 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 blah
Divided by the top, yeah.
equals.
We're multiplying essentially by everything that's in my big parentheses, but flipped. So it'll be R over K over that whole thing.
Are we at any point gonna have to find T or K, or will they always give us that? Because that
So
might be the end of my understanding.
Maybe in a word problem, but it'll be an easier one, not at a present value or future value.
Okay.
So is it
already word problems?
No,
So is it 154?
they're giving you all the information
Oh,
like this.
okay, that's actually not too bad.
Word problems will be like, Sally has a house with a present value of blah, blah, blah. How many years will it take her to pay off the loan?
So divided by
Sorry.
R on both sides.
Those kinds of things.
That
All right,
PV
so I'm going to have,
multiply by
I'm going to I'm going to do R equals the present value, 1,500, nope. Hold please, 154,000 times 0.072 over 12 all over 1 minus 1 plus 0.072 over 12 raised to the negative 12 times 15.
So we're keeping, what are we keeping, what are we changing, what are we flipping?
Well, I'm technically speaking dividing both sides by this parentheses. But when I do that, you keep the first thing, you change the sign, and then you flip the fraction. Or I can do it like this. If I want to multiply, if I have like 3x equals 2/3. Well, that's not a good, hold on. Let me do it this way. 3 equals 2/3 x. I would multiply both sides by 3/2 so that everything on that side cancels. Like that.
That's what I said.
1400.
How much?
$401.53.
$1,401 and what?
53 cents.
I got 47
I got 47 cents too.
I had 47 on my paper, but I'm not sure how you would be off by mere pennies.
It's okay.
You said 47.
Close enough. I would give it to you at that. That's so close. Like it. Did you put this whole thing in, or did you do it in steps?
No, I multiplied that top thing out. I didn't keep change flip and do all that.
Okay. That's probably why. It's not enough for me to, like, I would, even within a couple of dollars, I would give it to you because of rounding. Because it depends just on how you go through and do the problem. But that's why it's important for you to write it this way, or, like, to write it out the way that, like, plugging everything in so that I can see, okay, you know the formula, you plugged it in correctly, and then I can see it's just a matter of rounding as you did it in your calculator. All right. We're going to hold right there. I think what we're going to probably have to do, because I want you to have time to do these tomorrow, is I think I'm going to have to just shift stuff that I was going to do next week a little bit, which is fine. So what we're going to do is tomorrow you're going to have a work day, so I'm going to go ahead and give you your problems, so don't put all your stuff away yet. You need to write down homework problems. We will do word problems next Monday and quiz on Wednesday tentatively next week. Okay? I may shift it a little bit more. We have time because we were going to have a whole week to review for exams, so we may shift and have 3 or 4 days now instead, but that's fine.
That's not good.
You will need all your quizzes and tests if you want to start looking for all of those. All right, problems up to where we are right now. 3, 5, 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. So I've given you one of each type up to future value and present value. And then so you'll have all of tomorrow to work on that. And then, like I said, we'll do word problems next week unless everybody does all this homework tonight. Because we've got about 3 word problems that I want to go over. And then we would be ready after that. So.
So